Welcome everyone to the Transformation Nurse Academy podcast. This is our weekly episode, Talk with Kevin, where we cover topics for all nursing fields with extra emphasis on emergency and critical nursing. Get ready for candid discussions that explore the vast landscape of nursing and beyond.
All right, peeps. Welcome to the Transformation Nurse Academy podcast. This is Kevin, recording another episode. This one's wild and crazy. Had to start all over again because somebody wouldn't be quiet, talking too much and shit. Yeah, Be quiet, lady. Holy cow. All right, you guys. So this one's nuts. This is a story about a former home health nurse named Judith Sobol, S-O-B-O-L-L. I'm going to post a link here so Jane can post it for you so that way you can go and see her. I don't know if you've ever seen those pictures where they have the before and after pictures of people that are on methamphetamines. Before they're all beautiful and sexy, and then afterwards they look like they got no teeth. Their face is all jacked up. Their lips are all jacked up. Yeah, this is her. Not trying to make fun of you, Judith. I'm just describing what I'm seeing with my own two eyes. So Judith Sobol, she is a registered nurse. See where I'm at here. All right. So Judith Sobol, a registered nurse, was responsible for caring for a 3-year-old child who was a ventilator-dependent patient with severe medical conditions. But on June 20th, 2022, that's only 2 years ago, a little bit more than 2 years ago, but Sobol arrived for her overnight shift under the influence of methamphetamines. She was high as a kite. During her shift, the child's trachea, her tracheal tube, became disconnected. Despite resuscitation attempts made by the child's parents and emergency personnel, the child passed away. So I don't know because I don't have the details yet. I haven't really looked through this, but I'm assuming that the child came off the ventilator and the ventilator started alarming. And she was probably either so high that she crashed and she was sleepy, or she was so high she didn't know what she was doing. She was dreaming. But you know, when a patient gets disconnected from the vent, there's alarms that go off. So either she didn't hear it because she was passed out from the drugs, or she didn't hear it because she was too high and she thought she was dreaming about the damn alarm and shit. Anyway, Sobol later admitted to using methamphetamines before her shift. Police discovered drug paraphernalia in her possession when she was arrested. The following year in 2023, Sobol was convicted of second-degree murder and her nursing license was permanently revoked. In May of 2023, she was sentenced to 30 to 75 years in prison for the child's death. So, what are the legal and healthcare ramifications? Well, this case brought attention to significant risk associated to impaired healthcare professionals. Sobol's use of drugs while on duty led to the loss of a vulnerable patient's life, highlighting the extreme consequences of substance abuse in healthcare. If you don't believe that your nurse or your doctors or any other healthcare professional, if they're high as a kite at work or doing drugs, alcohol, it happens all the time. You know, nursing, healthcare profession is a very high stress job. A lot of us drink, a lot of us smoke, a lot of people do drugs. You know, we're human and stuff. So don't look down upon us. You know, it is what it is. But if you're going to do these things, don't do it while you're at work. Like, don't risk your license. Don't risk the patient's life. And if it becomes too much where you get into a habit where you can't live without it, go get some counseling. The problem, though, is when you try to get counseling, then you get in trouble. And we'll talk about that in a second. But anyway, additionally, this case emphasizes the need for hospitals and care facilities to maintain strict oversight and intervention programs for staff facing substance abuse issues. The Sobol case is a tragic reminder of how personal substance abuse can intersect with professional responsibility, especially those in critical care settings. And even though you think that home care is not critical care, but if you have a patient that is dependent on the ventilator, that's still a type of critical care setting. Because a lot of times these patients come off the ventilator, they start turning blue right away. I worked in Washington, D.C., Maryland back in the early 90s with Maximum Healthcare. And I would, when I was in the Army, and I would go to patients' home, a lot of pediatric patients, and they were vent dependent, and we'd have to do trach suctioning, and we'd have to learn how to take care of the ventilators. And you're all by yourself. The family's sleeping. They depend on you. There's no help. They didn't have any kind of DON that you could call. You had to figure this shit out on your own. So if you've never worked in home care where you have to take care of these vent dependent children or adults, I encourage you to do so. It's a good experience. So you're very independent about this. Now, I don't know about here in California because California is a nanny state. They don't let nurses do much of anything anymore. So anyway, Sobol case is a tragic reminder, how these things intersect. So many in the healthcare industry have stressed the importance of a better support systems for nurses, such as mental health programs and addiction counseling, especially for those in high stress environments like intensive care units, care units, pediatric ICUs, emergency departments. The problem is there was an NP somewhere here in America recently that went to seek mental health counseling. And I don't know how the board found out, but they found out and they revoked her license or suspended her license. So if that happens to her, nobody's going to want to go and try to seek help if they need it. And I'm sure a lot of us need to see some counseling, but if you're going to go get counseling, you put yourself at risk. How the board found out, I don't know, but I think it's bullshit. Anyway, the Sobol case, it's a tragic reminder that you can't even get counseling because of those kind of things that. Anyway, the nursing boards and disciplinary action, nurses who are involved in misconduct are often subject to review by the state nursing boards, which have authority. Not just authority, they got sole authority. You can go to a judge and the judge can say, no, screw you, nursing board. And the nursing board can say, screw you, judge, we're not going to listen to you. They have sole authority. If you don't believe me, reach out to Maggie Ortiz. She does a lot of nursing stuff. She's been on the nursing boards and nursing board investigations. They have sole authority. But the nursing board can revoke your license. They can impose penalties. And so you got to be careful with that. You can get in trouble for substance abuse, negligence, intentional harm. So we're going to talk about this a little bit because it's crazy how, a nurse can come to work high. So this former home health nurse sentenced to 30 to 75 years. She was convicted of second-degree murder. It's a 3-year-old in Michigan, I think, somewhere. So the nurse is 42 years old. She'll be 71 by the time she's eligible for parole. Right. So in February, she was found guilty. I won't tell you the kid's name, but you can go search and stuff. But she was found in possession of methamphetamine when she got arrested. So she was still high the same day. So that's crazy. But it was about 2 a.m. on June 20th. The patient's mother told the court she woke up to use the bathroom and heard alarm sounding from the patient's room, and the medical equipment in her bedroom was sounding. So she rushed into the bedroom to find Sobol halfway on a chair, halfway on the floor, mumbling incoherently, while the patient was in the bed not breathing, and that the tracheal tube that she required to breathe had been removed. The mother called 911 while the husband performed CPR, but the patient was taken to the hospital where she later succumbed. The police, when they arrived, they found Sobol in a fetal position on the living room floor, rocking back and forth. One of the officers testified that he searched Sobol's purse. Was that a legal search, officer? It says with her permission, but if she was not coherent, how's that permission? But it's whatever, it is okay. But anyway, they searched her purse. They found drug paraphernalia, meth pipes, needle caps. Sobol ultimately told the police that she shot up meth the same day that she was set to care for the child. She also admitted to shooting up meth 4 days straight in a row before heading to work. This is the crazy thing. Sobol, who reportedly holds a master's degree in nursing, had her license revoked. So all that education didn't do much for her, and it didn't help her keep her license. So that's some crazy stuff right there. So nurses who are entrusted have immense responsibility. Our license are, just the cornerstone of our careers. Unfortunately, there's some instances where nurses face these devastating losses because they made a huge mistake and they became severely neglectful. They caused intentional harm. It's just crazy, that this happened. So there's a lot of different stories. There's many different stories that we could cover over this. So, but it's your, you got to remember, it's your responsibility to take care of these patients. You got to make sure. So, but she was convicted by the Attorney General on behalf. So let me see. There's a complaint here. So I'll put this complaint here from the Board of Nursing. So see, it says this was a tragic murder and our hearts go out to the family. So this is from the Board of Nursing. Sobol was eligible to petition for reinstatement. Oh, this is crazy. Let me go back to this. On behalf of the Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs, the Department of Attorney General issued an administrative complaint against Sobol in 2022 based upon a misconduct. The administrative complaint alleges that Sobol's conduct violated public health code. Lack of good moral character, disqualifications consistent of substance abuse disorder and physical or mental condition adversely affecting her ability to practice in a safe and competent manner. Sobol did not respond to the administrative complaint and was deemed in default. The Board of Nursing issued a order on February 20 revoking her license and imposed a $150,000 fine. Pursuant to the Public Health Code, the disciplinary subcommittee imposed a maximum period of revocation allowed, but Sobol was eligible to petition for reinstatement of her nursing license after 3 years and the payment of $130. Wait a minute. So you're telling me that you kill a patient and that you can reapply to get your license reinstated after 3 years? That's crazy, though. I don't agree with that. I know that we make mistakes, but this was more than just a mistake. Like, she was high on drugs. So, like, that's craziness right there. We need to rethink that one. All right. So anyway, I'll post these links and stuff for Jane to post. But like, dude, like if you're gonna be smoking and drinking and doing crack and all that, please don't do it on your own time. Like, this is nuts. Like, you can get in trouble for neglect, incompetence, psychologically, problems. Like, why would you throw away a master's degree in nursing? Because I mean, I know it's a rhetorical question, but anyway, think about that. I know this is a little short episode. Maybe we'll post it before this upcoming week. We'll see. Don't do drugs, kids. Don't do drugs. Stay in school and don't do drugs. All right, you guys, pay attention to that story. Go read it. There's a lot of other stories out there like this too. See you later. Bye, peeps.
Don't miss out. Engage with us weekly. Share your thoughts, and let's transform the nursing landscape together.